You see here, I moved to a very small part. So this is a throttle body. And here we're just scanning on a high resolution on the smaller field of view. This would be a typical part that you would do, let's say at the HandySCAN Black Elite. This was a great part. We've got single line mode, we got multi-line mode. So single line lets us get into small holes and things much easier. Once we're done with the scan, and let me point out, we've got the targets, and if you see the targets around the part, that's how we scan small parts. We're not going to target them. We skipped over scanning the second half, so I flipped the part, scanned the other half, and then we end up with two halves here. And I'm going to hide a couple of things, a couple of the background data from the same session. But you've got two halves of the same part. We do a best fit between the two. It fits them together. If the best fit doesn't work, you do have a manual pick 3-point option that guarantees it's going to work pretty much. And then from there, we merge the two scans together. So again, even in the processes where we do have to merge data sets, we just don't. It couldn't be easier. And there we go. We've got the final merge data set. That's a process mesh, again, ready to go for whatever you want to do. In this case, well, we'll show you again. We got our point cloud here. All right, or sorry, not the point cloud, the point spacing between within the mesh, so you can see how it's larger on the areas of low contour, and it's very tiny on the areas of high contour. Skip ahead just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Again, turn that back on. I think I got put in twice. That's all right. So what we're going to do though, yeah, there we go. So there's the sharp edges. Again, that's all done within the Creaform processing itself, finalized, which is really neat. So we can take that and we can go directly to an inspection. I've turned the CAD file on and I've already pre-made an inspection. So this would be very similar to if you would be doing this in-house on parts that you're consistently manufacturing. You would set up an inspection report and you can go right from scanning, send it to the inspection, and it'll automatically do the alignments. So in our case, we did a best fit and then a datum alignment. And you can see there, we've got a color map already placed in, and we've got features already extracted, and they're already measured. And you've got pass-fail criteria over on the left. If I didn't mention it, this is Creaform's VX Inspect platform. So this is a Creaform's inspection module. This is separate from the scanner, but it's a separate module, but it integrates into Creaform's VX Elements workspace environment. So it's really nice. It's all under one roof. Once you're done, you import scan, you can open up your report there. If you decide you want to change a few things, like I like to add a color map image on the first page of my report, just so anybody can look very quickly at it and see what the part looks like. I can take a new snapshot. So I'm adding a snapshot to the report. This view, it looks pretty good. I put a couple of deviation flags in there on some of the, the higher deviation areas. All right, so we've got that in there. And I also, if you miss a dimension, so I missed a dimension here. I've only got one. It's in the Z of this circle to the datum A face. And if I want to add a dimension, I want to dimension that circle to the datum C face. You can see they're selected. I can jump right in, I can add another one, and I can add it right to the report. So here, I like the selections because it highlights whatever it is you're hovering over. So you can't mess up what you're selecting. And then you can change whether that dimension is a Z, X, Y, or a 3D. I'm gonna pull it in the Y. And you can see there, it gives you the as measured. If the scan's already there, it immediately gives you the as measured. So 123.7 millimeters, essentially. Now, when we go back to the report, number one, you'll see on the first page that the blank space that was on the front page, we're going to add that snapshot of the color map. So you just go right to report options. You decide whether, what image you want on that front page. It could be any of them. This is all up to the end user. And then once we put that in there, we can scroll down and you'll see that last dimension, that distance 2, is ready to go. So it's already included. All right, and so I'm going to skip right over to the next video starts up. So that's VX Inspect. Again, if you got any questions on that, please type it into the chat box, and we'll I'll answer that at the end. Do my best to go over everything.